Javonte is, I think 6 of his 7 touchdowns have all come in like the first quarter. Some of them early, very, very early, like the other night. What do you subscribe to that? Why is that happening? That he's getting some kind of space like that early on in games?
Trying to find ways to really get Javonte out in space. This past game was a screen, and he took it to the house. Really explosive player. When you throw it to him down the field, he's got the speed to go down the field and make a play. So he's one of those guys that is a big play waiting to happen, and that's really what's shown up the last 5 to 6 weeks.
Coach, Cedric Tillman, I think he had maybe 8 catches his first 3 years here. Now he's got 36. Talk about his improvement, and have you had a player that showed that kind of progress like 4 years into his career?
I've had 1 or 2 players that have had some progress like that after really 1 year, and you really just talk to development of Tillman, a guy that's been here for 3 years, just really lacked confidence and had a skill set, just need to really be developed. And that's what he's done. He's bought in to what we're doing. He's bought into my coaching. And, man, really enjoy coaching him every single day because he just wants to get better. He's always looking for ways to improve, and it's really showing up on the field. I truly think he's one of the better receivers in the SEC. So he's going to continue to progress and be a really good player when it's all said and done.
Cody, following up on that, you guys obviously thought that he had a lot of potential and wanted to get confidence in him. He's got, I think 26 catches the past few games. Just had a big game against Alabama. Did you guys see this maybe as his ceiling, and can there be more from him that you guys think he can get out of it?
I think Cedric Tillman is just really scratching the surface. Just still a truly inexperienced player. He had 8 catches in 3 years, was kind of overlooked, overshadowed a little bit by some other guys, and just hadn't had the opportunity that he has now. And he's really taken full advantage of it. And it's been really impressive to see him go out there each week and just continue to develop and get more confidence each and every week. And like I said, I think he's truly becoming one of the better receivers in this league. And he's really just scratching the surface. I think he can be as good as he wants to be as long as he continues to progress, buy into what we're doing, which he has. And I think he's going to be a really good player.
Velus transferred year before y'all got here from USC, and then, of course, Javonte comes over this past offseason. When you guys go to the portal for receivers or other players, do you feel like having that as tangible proof of what somebody can do in this offense helps you when you're talking to kids that are looking for kind of their next home or a different landing spot?
For sure. I think offensively, just what we do at the receiver position, as far as how fast we play and how we throw the ball around, and the success that we've had with transfers, really, just the portal is just wide open. And if I'm a receiver in the portal, and when you got an opportunity to come to Tennessee, why not? And like you talked about, the number speaks for itself. And the guys that are playing, both transferred in, one from Mississippi State and one from USC. So we've been very successful here, really in just year one with transfers.
How would you assess where the Jimmys are right now, Jimmy Holiday, Jimmy Callaway?
Yeah, Jimmy Callaway, really Jimmy and Jimmy, both still young players, continuing to develop every single day in practice. And, I spoke on it a few weeks ago, just a unique deal where you had the COVID year. They're really still freshmen because that COVID year was a different deal for everybody. And this is really the first year that they've really had a chance to get some development, had a chance to play in a normal season, right? So being able to take those guys on road games, being able to really play special teams as well, I think is critical. Because you want all of your players to be able to play special teams, and that grows them as players, grows them as football players, and gives them confidence that when they go out there on the field, they know how to play, know how to execute. And so I'm excited to see their growth and development, very similar to Tillman and a lot of these guys that are playing this year. You look at a guy like Javonte Payton, look at his history, hadn't been very successful at the other places that he's been, but he comes here to Tennessee, and right now he's one of the better receivers on the team. So it just speaks to development, and those guys just continuing to buy in. And I think they'll be good players when it's all said and done.
David in the back, and then back to Jimmy. Hey, Coach. Georgia's defense has been one of the best in the SEC at preventing explosive plays, something that the Tennessee offense is really good at. What is Georgia's defense doing really well against opposing offenses?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot that they don't do good. They're really good at stopping the run, and whenever you stop the run, it's a lot easier to defend the pass. So, man, what they're doing and the caliber of players that they have and the level that they play at is really impressive. And so that can be said about everybody, though. Obviously, once you play Tennessee, you know, the threat of explosive plays is kind of what we do. And so it's obviously a really good matchup, going to be fun to see how we match up against, you know, if not the best defense, one of the best defenses in the country.
Coach, would you like to get your running backs more involved in the pass game? And do you work with the running backs on pass catching?
So, obviously, you would love everybody to get involved in the pass game, not just the wideouts. You want the tight ends. You want the running backs to all be involved, and that makes the job for the quarterback a lot easier. And, you know, the running backs have the routine. Coach Mack does a really good job of developing those guys as far as pass catchers out of the backfield. And it's all about opportunity. Once the opportunity presents itself to get those guys the ball, I think they'll be in a good position to make those plays. So, yeah, Coach Mack does work with those guys on pass catching.
Kodi, the way that y'all seem to sort of go right at teams in the first quarter and the way that it's sort of hard for opponents to simulate what y'all do you feel like that gives your players a sort of a mental edge going into games? Like they feel like, okay, we're going to go out here and we're going to do this because they don't know what the speed they're about to see?
I think it definitely gives you a mental edge, but more so that there's at any point throughout the course of a game we can catch fire just like this. And Coach Hype says it all the time. It doesn't matter in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Man, at some point it's going to pop. And the last couple of weeks, I mean, it's transpired that it's popped in the first quarter. But, you know, with this caliber style of offense, we're liable to put up, 14, 21 points in 2 or 3 minutes. So it's obviously exciting to be a part of. And just, we're still young in the offense. So we're going to continue to grow throughout the course of the year. We got 3 games left. Obviously one of the better defenses right now. But like you said, we've gotten off to really good starts, but it can pop at any time. So, we really preach to our players, do not look at the scoreboard. I don't care if we're down 21. I don't care if we're up 21. It can bust wide open at any time.
You've got a pretty good understanding of the SEC over the last decade or so. When you look at Georgia's defense, they've been compared to some of the great Alabama defenses. They're averaging less than a touchdown a game allowed. How do they stack up from what you've seen of some of the great defenses the last few years?
Yeah, I really think the number speaks for itself. I mean, statistically, one of the better defenses, really the best defense in the country, and you can compare this defense to some of the better defenses that have come through the SEC at a couple of other spots. And they play hard. They're well coached, got really good talent on defense, and they fly around to the football. And so obviously we got to be on point. We can't have any self-inflicted wounds. If we go out there and execute, that's all you ask, to give yourself a chance to win the game. And I think our players are focused, they're locked in, and we're ready for the challenge at hand. And so it's going to be a fun battle. Can't wait to really get out there on Saturday to see what our guys can do.